back to Discovery with Miss Natalie. I know it's been a very, very long time since we've had one of these videos, but I have some pretty fun news. So we are going to be bringing back Discovery with Miss Natalie videos every other Friday, starting with today. And today is a pretty cool video because tomorrow is Halloween. And today, I thought it would be pretty fun if we dressed up in a very fun Halloween costume and did some science experiments, but with a Halloween twist. So, I am going to be a witch today. I have my witch hat. I also have my really, really big bowl that says trick or treat on it. And I'm gonna be a witch and use this as my cauldron, and we're gonna do a super, super fun science experiment later on in this video. But first, we're gonna read a story all about this little witch. And it is called A Very Brave Witch. And is written by Allison McGee and Harry Bliss. So let's learn a little bit more about this witch and why is she so brave. Come along with me. A Very Brave Witch by Allison McGee and Harry Bliss. You're not going to believe this, but oh, who lives in here? Poof! I'm a witch! Did you see that? This little guy, which is a lizard, is actually a witch. My favorite holiday? Well, what do you think? What do you think the witch's favorite holiday is? Got your guess? That's right, it's Halloween. Did you guess Halloween? Me too, that was a good guess. I love decorations. Look at all these decorations she has. She has skeletons and pumpkins and ghosts and bats. These little tombstones. That's a lot of decorations. And I especially love the costumes. She's got a lot of costumes. All of those right there. You might not believe this, but most witches are afraid of humans. Did she say humans? Why? Because, well, humans aren't green like us. Are you green? No, me neither. I'm not green, but look, they're green. I'm not afraid, though. I've done my research. Here are the facts. Strange, but true. Most humans are afraid to fly. Most humans do not wear pointy hats. Humans are rarely known to cackle. Nothing too bad except, you know, the green thing. It's time for this brave witch to have a closer look. Hang on, kitty, we're going in. There she goes on her broomstick with her kitty cat. She's gonna go see the humans. Listen, what's that I hear those humans saying? Trick or treat? Is that what we say when we go trick or treating? What do we say? Trick or treat. No one can trick or treat like me. Zoop, vroom, zoom, yikes. Uh-oh, she fell off her broomstick. Are you okay? A real human. Sweet costume. Look, so we have this little friend who's a ghost and another witch and a skeleton. And they think that this witch is a human who's just dressed up in costume. That was quite a spill. I'm being touched by a human hand. I've always dreamed of flying. Flying? What does she think humans don't like to do? She thinks they don't like to fly. So is it weird that this little girl said that she always wanted to fly? Man, that might have surprised the witch. Have I got a treat for you? Hop on! Some witches, the very brave ones, are not afraid of humans. And some humans, the very brave ones, are not afraid to fly. Look, she made a friend. And they're all on their broomstick. Plus kitty, because you can't forget your kitty cat. Happy Halloween. The end. Did you enjoy this story about the very brave witch? Even though most witches, they don't really like humans because they think they're scary. She was super brave and she went and met a human friend, which is very cool of her. So what we're going to do now is we are going to wear our witch's hat and we're going to be witches and make a witch's brew in our big cauldron that I have here. So let me get it all set up and I'll be right back and I'll show you our fun science experiment. Alrighty, welcome back. So now I have my whole table set up with everything I'm going to need for our science experiment. And this is what we're going to use as our big cauldron so that we're witches and making our witch's brew. Now the fun thing about this science experiment is it actually is something you can eat. It's edible, which will be super fun at the end when we get a tasty treat. So what you're going to need is a big bowl that you're going to use as our cauldron. It doesn't have to be a Halloween themed bowl, but if it is, that's pretty fun. You're also going to need just 2 other small bowls that can go in the microwave. Now remember, when we're using any sort of kitchen gadgets like a microwave or an oven or a stove, make sure that you have an adult with you who can help put all of those things in because it gets a little hot and we don't want to burn our hands. Next thing you're going to need is some gummy bears. They can be any kind of gummy bears you want. Or if you want to go a little more spooky, you can use gummy worms too. So either get some gummy bears or some gummy worms. And then the last thing you're going to need is just some Halloween candy. So what I got are these eyeballs. So in here there's just some gumdrops that look like eyeballs. And I also got some skeleton bones. So here's just some candy that's in the shape of a skeleton bone. And you can get as much candy or as little candy as you want. Just try to find the ones that are super spooky and a little bit like Halloween, okay? So the first step that we're gonna need to do is grab our gummy bears. Make sure, well really the first step you wanna do is make sure you washed your hands. With lots of soap and water, because when you're cooking, it's very important to wash your hands. And especially right now, so that we make sure that nothing gets into our food that we potentially can eat a little bit later. So make sure you wash your hands with soap and water. I already went and did that, so you go do that first, pause this video, and then come back, okay? So then after you wash your hands, you're gonna grab your gummy bears, and we're gonna put them into our microwaveable bowls. And what you wanna do is try to put colors that are similar together, okay? So for example, I'm gonna move this for a second. In this bowl, I'm going to put all of the yellow. So here's my first yellow gummy bear. And the orange. And the red. I'm gonna put all of those gummy bears into this bowl. Okay, so go ahead and try to find your yellows, your oranges, your red gummy bears, and put all of those into the bowl. Okay, so here I have all of my yellow, my red, and my orange gummy bears. There's my first bowl. Now in my second microwavable bowl, I'm going to put all of the blue and the green gummy bears. So go ahead and put all of those into your second bowl. Perfect! There we go. So I have all of my blue and my green. I don't have as many as the other bowl, but that's okay. And then I have all my red, yellow, and orange in here. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your bowls, go to the microwave, again, have a grown-up help you, And you're gonna put each bowl in one at a time, okay? And you're gonna put it in for 30 seconds. And then you're gonna take it out, take a spoon, and stir it. And then put it back in for another 30 seconds. And you're gonna do that with both your bowls. So once you've done that, come on back and I'll show you the next thing that you have to do. All right, welcome back. Is your gummy bears all nice and liquidy now? Yes? Perfect. So you should have in your bowl some slime looking that are just your melted gummy bears. So we have like our blue-green color, and then we also have our red color. So now that our gummy bears are all nice and melted, we're gonna put them into our big cauldron. So I'm gonna start with my red and yellow and orange gummy bears. And you're just gonna pour it in, just like that. Make sure you get everything out of your bowl. It's gonna be kind of sticky, but that's okay. So try to get as much as you can into your big bowl. Now let's add in our blue and green gummy bear mixture. Do the same thing, pour that on in there, just like that. All right, perfect. So now in my big cauldron, I have the green and the red and the yellow. So once we have all of our gummy bears in our bowl, we need to add in our fun Halloween candy. So just like witches, they put in a bunch of stuff into their witch's brew. I've heard that sometimes they get sweat from ghosts, or sometimes they have to get a vampire's tooth. Sometimes they might have to get hair from a werewolf. All those crazy things, and they put them into their witch's brew. So we're gonna add our fun, crazy Halloween candy. So I'm first gonna add in my eyeballs. So my witch's brew is gonna have eyeballs in it. Here, I'll take one out and you can see what it is. It's really just a gum ball, just like bubble gum, but it looks, I don't know, but it looks like an eyeball. Pretty cool. So we are gonna put those into our witch's brew. And you can put as much and as little Halloween candy you want. So I think I'm gonna put in 4 eyeballs. There we go. So once you put in your first candy, you're gonna take a big spoon or a spatula, just like this one, and you're gonna mix it all together. Ooh, that's whoopy. Look at those eyeballs. All right, now we're gonna put in the next candy, which are my skeleton bones. So let's get out one of those skeleton bones. Here, I'll come show you what they look like. They look like little bones. Do you see those? So we're gonna add some of those in. I think I'm gonna add in 10 skeleton bones. So can you count with me? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 skeleton bones. So we're gonna do the same thing. Take your big spatula or your spoon and mix, mix, mix together. Ugh, it's getting very sticky. So as the gummy bears start to cool down and they're not as warm, they're gonna re-harden again, just like they were when they were actually gummy bears, not just goop and slime. So we're gonna mix, mix, mix. Okay, so now I have my witch's brew slime with my gummy bears and my eyeballs, and the skeleton bones are in there. So now let's learn some pretty cool science words. Are you ready? Okay, so you're gonna repeat after me. So in a gummy bear, there is something called an amino acid. Can you say that? Amino acid. Very good. And amino acids have strands that bond together when they're hard. So our gummy bears, because they were cool and they were hardened, all of those amino acid strands were together. They like hugged each other. But when we put them in the microwave and they got hot, they turned into liquid. So they were slimy, but they were also this liquid that you can pour out like that, right? Because all of those amino acid strands, they stopped hugging each other. They weren't together anymore when they got warm. But now, as our gummy bears are starting to cool and they're not as warm, they're going back into what we call a solid state, which is when they're hard, just like when they were the gummy bear. So that is why when we're still playing with it, and now as we just leave it, do you see how it doesn't really fall as quickly anymore and it kind of is all stuck together? That's because it's going back into its solid state. So we learned about amino acids today while we were a witch. That's pretty cool, huh? And the best part about this witch's brew is that you can eat it. So if you wanted to grab a spoon, maybe one of the spoons that you stirred, and you can take a little bite of the gummy bears. They just don't look like a bear anymore, but I promise it'll taste super, super yummy. So I hope you enjoyed going on our witch's journey today, where we read the story all about this brave witch right here, and we became witches ourselves and made our own science witch's brew, which I hope you're going to try a little bit later. And remember, these videos are back, so come on back in 2 weeks. So not next Friday, but the Friday after. You can ask your mom, your dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, a big brother or a big sister to help you keep track of when the next video will be, okay? Because we're going to read another fun story and we're going to do another fun activity. So I hope you have a super great day tomorrow, because tomorrow is Halloween and you can wear your costume. So I hope you have a great day tomorrow, and I can't wait to see you in 2 weeks.